While some picture books try to capture the world as it is, detailed, precise, full of accurate lighting and shadows, others decide, nah, let's just paint what the scene feels like and call it a day. And then there are books that go full chaos mode, where the images aren't of anything in particular, but they make you feel something. Hey everyone, I'm Nick. This is Dr. Cranky Pants Reads, and today we're talking about Expressionism, abstract and non-objective art in picture books. Let's get into it. Let's start with Expressionism, or when books decide to yell their feelings at you. Expressionism is really what happens when illustrators don't just want you to see the emotions, they want you to feel them in your bones. This style really distorts reality, cranks up the colors to maximum intensity, and exaggerates everything to make sure you know what's going on emotionally. Let's look at one of the best examples for this. Molly Bang's When Sophie Gets Angry. Really, really angry. In this book, Sophie's rage literally explodes into fiery colors as the world around her turns into bold, jagged shapes, visually screaming, this child is not okay. There's a couple of different things that will help you identify Expressionism in picture books, particularly distorted or exaggerated figures. Faces, bodies, and objects don't have to look right. They just have to feel right. Also look for high contrast, dramatic colors. Red, angry. Blue is calm. Yellow is loud, and everything is dialed up to 100. You're also going to want to look for wild, energetic brushstrokes. If the book looks like the illustrator attacked the page with a paintbrush mid-emotional breakdown, it's probably Expressionism. Illustrators love this for telling stories about big feelings, anger, sadness, joy, existential dread, really, whatever the kids are working through. It makes emotions feel larger than life, even if the story is about something small. It visually drags you into a character's headspace, no matter how uncomfortable that might be. If a picture book looks like the emotions are more important than the actual drawings, Expressionism is probably doing the heavy lifting. Abstract art takes reality, simplifies it, and distorts it, sometimes in a way that still lets you recognize the subject, and sometimes in a way that makes you wonder if you need new glasses. This style is all about shape, color, and suggestion. The details? Unnecessary. For an example, let's look at the Hello Goodbye window illustrated by Chris Raschka. The house in this illustration melts into the background. The garden is just bold swaths of color. The whole thing feels like a child's memory painted in the broadest of strokes. If you're looking at a picture book and trying to figure out if it's an abstract style, here's a couple of things you can look for. Objects are simplified or distorted. A tree might just be a swirl of green, a face, a suggestion of eyes, and a mouth. There's a strong focus on color and shape. The what doesn't matter as much as the how it looks together. It's also a loose, expressive style. These illustrations are going to feel spontaneous, have a sense of being alive, and be totally uninterested in realism. Illustrators love this particular style because of the way it lets kids interpret art in their own way. It makes a book feel whimsical, nostalgic, or a little dreamlike, and captures the essence of a scene without getting bogged down in those details. If a book looks like reality was put through a funhouse mirror, but still kinda made sense, it's probably abstract. From here, let's go to non-objective. And this is when the book doesn't even pretend to represent reality. Non-objective art essentially says, why even try to draw a thing when we can just play with color, shape, and movement? These books really don't have many recognizable objects, no houses, no faces, just pure visual elements working together to create a mood or idea. This isn't necessarily a style that you're going to see a lot, or you may see books that are very much inspired by this, which brings us to Brendan Wenzel's They All Saw a Cat. So this one technically still has a cat in it, but the way that it's represented varies wildly as squiggles, as vibrations, points of light. This is all pushing towards full abstraction. So if you think you might have found one of those rare beasts, non-objective art in picture books, here's how you can check yourself. No identifiable subjects are visible. If you find yourself asking, what exactly am I looking at? It's non-objective. If you're looking at pure color, line, and shape, and the focus is on that composition, movement, and feeling, chances are it's non-objective. Also, if it's totally open to interpretation, and there's no wrong way to read non-objective art because it's really about how it makes you feel. Illustrators love this because it gives kids total creative freedom to interpret the story however they want. It triggers emotion through pure design rather than character expressions or actions and makes books feel more like an experience than just a story. But if a book looks like it belongs in a modern art gallery instead of a bedtime routine, it's probably non-objective. But again, keep in mind that this isn't an art style that runs rampant in picture books. Now, let's talk about how to tell these styles apart in picture books, because you might find yourself flipping through a book and flipping on your decisions about what style it's using. So here's how to think through it. If you see that it distorts reality to emphasize emotion, that's expressionism. If it simplifies or exaggerates forms, but still kind of represents things, that's going to be abstraction. And if it ditches representation altogether and just goes full shape and color mode, that's non-objective. Either way, these styles are just about what you see, they're about what you feel. So what's next? We've covered art styles that distort reality, but now we're diving into styles that embrace simplicity, playfulness, and tradition. Next up, we'll be talking about folk art, naive art, and cartooning. Do you prefer emotional intensity, simplified abstraction, or full color chaos? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's discuss. I'll see you in the next one.